And everyone is sick and tired of hearing about it because we all know Trump had nothing to do with January 6th. President Trump didn't plan it. President Trump didn't send people. President Trump did nothing to cause the riot at the Capitol on January 6th.
So you know that anyone that calls himself a Christian nationalist, you know if you're a Christian, you're going to be persecuted. And if you're not prepared to be persecuted, then you really need to ask yourself what your faith really means.
I've been covering the rise of self-proclaimed Christian nationalists for a while, and at the beginning it was shocking but very rare when politicians said this quiet part loudly, that they were literally praying for the United States to rally around this religious cry.
And all over the world, Christians are persecuted in ways we can't even comprehend, things we can't even understand, even to death. And I think it's time in America for the Christian church to start acting like the Christian church.
But now it's almost weekly that people like Marjorie Taylor Greene loudly and proudly state their mission to fuse politics and religion. And at this point, it's like she'll literally go anywhere to talk about the fact that we will all be damned if we do not fuse her specific crazy brand of Christianity with the Constitution. Who is this teenage interviewer anyway? I know the right isn't known for their hard-hitting journalism, but like, truly, who is this kid? Aside from the fact that this is once again dangerously linking religion with politics in a way our founders and Constitution never intended, this is just flat out embarrassing that we have a sitting Congress member pulling ridiculous stunts like this day in and day out. And of course, it doesn't just end here. Here's another video of her talking about her overall goal of being the Congresswoman as a bastion of American Christian nationalism.
Well, I think my word of hope and encouragement is that your reward is coming, and you might not see it today, you might not see it tomorrow, you might not see it a year from now, but your reward is coming. And if you're a Christian and you believe what the Bible tells us in the gospel, then what you do know is you're storing up treasures in heaven, and that's the most important reward.
Patriot Takes underscores her hypocrisy, tweeting that, quote, despite demonizing migrants, dismissing mass shootings, and stigmatizing LGBTQ people, Marjorie Taylor Greene says, quote, storing up treasures in heaven is what keeps her going. We all know that Greene spends her days not crafting legislation, but trolling the country. But I actually wanted to look into her recent congressional record to see like what she's actually doing as a congresswoman and what she's voting for, and thus doing for her constituents. The first thing I saw, however, was her extensive list of misconduct. According to the nonpartisan website GovTrack, she's been fined 18 times since May of 2021, and this is for things ranging from not wearing a mask on the House floor during the intense COVID pre-vaccine era, going all the way to taking too long to respond to certain votes that need her attention and are her job to respond to. The last legislation she introduced was actually to impeach Attorney General Merrick Garland for endangering, compromising, and undermining the justice system of the United States. That is, of course, in response to the Mar-a-Lago raid. She also introduced a bill called the Protecting Mothers and Babies from Terrorism Act. Okay, so like, what's that for? Ensuring that new mothers have paid leave to stay with their babies and that a child has a safety net of support from the government? Nope. It's a bill that seeks to categorize as terrorism any arson, graffiti, vandalism, or smashed windows at crisis pregnancy centers. Marjorie, you understand that's funding the FBI? And also, I'm pretty sure all those things are already illegal, if not terrorism. The question still remains, why are you focusing on the act of terrorism and funding the FBI that you hate so much, and not the lives of the mothers and children that you do claim to care about? Greene is more popular than ever, and her words could have dire consequences for Americans, from linking acts of protest to terrorism to justifying hate based on the ridiculous concept of storing treasures in heaven. She's a feckless coward who needs to continuously be called out, and you can rest assured that I'll continue to do so. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.